Hello, Erica of Herbal Arts, and we're here for Sunday demo. We're a few minutes late, but yeah, life happens. Okay, so we're going to be set up today to do something sort of fun and bright. There's actually a little bit of Angelina in here. I think, I can't tell if it's like contamination or if it's like all the way through. I can't really tell. But so this is, I'm pretty sure, Romney. It's also got a little bit of VM in it here and there. It's from Woolly Knob Fiber Mill in Indiana. And then I've got some bamboo and some mulberry silk. Still checking that it's mulberry yet. And then I thought I'd do a little bit of yellow to really sort of lighten it up. It's not the, this is called Sandcastle, this Bio Nylon. I used to have a more golden one. So I guess I maybe still do, but I'm not going to climb over the camera to get to it. I have one that's a little more, this is more yellow instead of gold, but I still think it'll work. I don't know if I want anything else. We'll see. I might, it's just sort of jumping out at me. I might put some of this Tussa silk in there. I think that's, yeah, that is Tussa. Yeah, we'll put some Tussa silk in there as well. Okay, so let's get us, we're tipped enough, so then I'll tip you a little more. That way you can see a little better. Okay. Oh, one of the things I need to schedule in the next week or two is do a Sebastian gets a spa day video. I haven't done one. I always say I clean him. In fact, I just cleaned underneath him. I've done a whole bunch of baths with get some VM in here. Mostly it's just grass or hay. I've been getting, I just did a whole series of baths with a bunch of Firestart in them. And the Firestar doesn't always, I mean, it's nylon, right? It doesn't always stick. And so you end up, after you do a whole series of those baths, with like a pile of Angelina underneath the Carter. So I'm just fluffing or thinning it out, but I'm also, gives me a chance to check for the VM. And sometimes with this, you check once and then you have to check again. And because sometimes, like, as you get it on the drum, sometimes it like pops up. Hello to whoever's watching. Just another piece right there. So this has got, it looks like gold, either Angelina or Stellina. They're essentially the same thing as far as I know. I think they're just different brand names. I think Stellina particularly. Stellina, I think, has a thinner, they're thinner. I don't remember how that works in terms of whatever the measurement they use for those mic. They're not microns, they're like deniers or something like that. You see that like when you buy soft-sided like luggage, and they'll talk about the, the denier, or whatever you say it. Sure, it's a French word. Okay, so this color is, another word I have trouble with. I have trouble with the minims. Anemone? So it's sort of a bluish teal. And then we will do a little bit of this turquoise, nice and bright. And then we'll do Tussa. This is that, I think the base is that honey Tussa, so it's a little more brown underneath instead of the white you get with the mulberry. And then we'll do the yellow, because I think we need that pop on it. So just a heads up, next week's demo is on Monday because I will be teaching during this time. Well, actually, I will just finish teaching teaching from noon to 3 on Sunday down at my guild, doing one of my classes where you learn how to make a wrap or scarf out of a bat. So one of the things I will be doing this week is making bats for the students to use. So this is the bio nylon. If you are local and watching, I also want to let you know that in February, because there's hardly any shows this time of year, right? Turns out there is one in Wisconsin later this month, but I thought I was going to be on vacation, so I never applied for it. And then there's something in Ohio in February that I missed the deadline for. So I'll keep those in mind for next year. So I'm doing a lot more teaching in the winter. And so in February, I'm just going to keep stopping and pulling out the VM. In February, I'll be teaching my bat making class. So if you want the hands-on experience of what we're doing here, it's exploring texture in art bats. And so it's a sort of cumulative class where you learn the basics of bat making, but then you get to, try all the different sort of add-ins. So you can sort of really get hands-on experience to try them. Plus, you get to try all the carders in my stable, or whatever we're calling it. I'm not sure if we ever decided what a group of drum carders is called. So sometime this week I will decide on when that class is going to be. It will be held at my guild in Waterloo. But it's open to the public. You don't have to be a member to take the class with me there. And it's a full day class. And you'll walk out with a whole bunch of bats that you made. Typically, the class this next week, so it's actually next Sunday, that one is $50, and that includes all materials, and get to go home with some tools as well. And then the bat making class in February, that one is $100, so 6 hours with an additional lunch break. And it's really nice. Our guild is right next to a grocery store, so you can run over and get food there too. And that one is $100, and that includes all the materials as well. And because I'm doing it through my guild, that price also includes a essentially a kickback, I guess, to the guild. Hello, Janice. How's life out there in the Pacific Northwest? More of this, sheep. They get everywhere, right? Huh? I think this is Romney. Generally, Jamie has Romney. Sometimes he mixes other things in, but this was in the bag with all the other Romney, so I'm assuming it's Romney. It feels softer than typically I expect their Romney to be. But if we stay on the theme of teaching, I have so far been accepted to teach at Midwest Fiber Festival in St. Louis in April. And also been accepted at Fiverr U in Missouri in July, but I'm not allowed to tell you what I'm teaching yet. We're supposed to not tell what we're teaching. I can say I'm a teacher, but that. You're doing absolutely. Oh, is it really warm? It's going to be. I just looked, so it's in the 30s right now, but it's really windy. I can hear the wind whipping around. But later this week, it's going to be in the 40s, which of course tells me if I can get my act together, I could like go out and get those tomato cages that have been frozen to the ground, but hopefully would not be frozen anymore. Thank you. Aren't those fun colors? Now, Janice, were you getting all the rain? I know there was a lot of rain. Okay, I want the green next. So it's sort of a green with brown in it because it's that Tussa silk. But yeah, I'm hoping this week to actually get everything out of the garden, so that they actually let me rent again next year. Because I was gonna go clean the garden and then I hit the deer and then I didn't have a car, my van or anything. So. Yeah, I'm liking these colors. This is sort of, I might name it something Mediterranean, since I was supposed to go on that cruise to Spain, which I had to cancel because of the deer and other things. And so, I'm not going to get to go on the Mediterranean and through the Straits of Gibraltar and all that. So. Put a little more on there. And I'm super bummed that I'm not going to get to go to the Alhambra. That was if I had to miss Santiago de Compostela, okay, but the Alhambra is on my lifelong bucket list, so. Indian rain, yeah. Oh yeah, and I have a field in medieval art history, so I'm very aware of I've seen all the pictures, and read about it and all sorts of things. But definitely someday would really like to do that, but not this year. I'm bummed that I have to give up essentially what was a free cruise. Okay, blue, turquoise. There we go. Looking for that end. Yeah, so I will be scheduling on WAFA a Sebastian has a spa day. Just need to figure out when that's going to go. I will also be scheduling the February WAFA Book Club, which I will be leading, which is 3 Bags Full. The one that they're making that cute movie with Hugh Jackman about the sheep detectives. I just need to decide when in February. It's going to be in February. It's going to be, and then I will also be, I won't schedule it yet, but the sequel, there's a sequel, which I think she wrote many years later. Because the 3 Bags Full is an older book. I mean, it's 15 years old, maybe? Closer to 20, maybe? I don't know. And I feel like I didn't put the green on. Put more green on. There we go. The green blends in more. So the sequel, Three Bags Full, I think we're going to do in June. So. And the sequel is Big Bad Wool. Is it a wolf? Of course, I still have to get the book. Both of them, actually. It's getting a little sticky here. Partially also this is super light. And so it's really sort of sticking to the liquor in here. So I was looking out my window earlier, and I guess I have a, not directly below me, but a few doors down, there's a dance studio. So usually during the school year, the street that's sort of out here, side street, is filled with parents doing pickup, or dropping off the kids for dance class. And so you got mostly little girls sort of screaming and running around in leotards and leggings and stuff like that. And I guess that they occasionally do something on a Sunday morning. Maybe there's one class that meets there. So I was like, I looked out and I'm like, it's Sunday morning. I'm not expecting anyone to be parked there because all the businesses are closed. And then suddenly I said, there's a bunch of cars. I was like, okay, well, maybe there's something going on. And then I hear all the little girls squealing. So I'm like, okay, yeah. But now that the movie theater across the street from me, which has been closed for maybe 7 years or more, opened again when Wicked 2 came out. That was their first. I think they had like a preview, like a little private event with a different movie. But when Wicked 2 came out, that was their grand opening. They supposedly have a bar in there, and they had like Wicked drinks and stuff like that. I actually haven't been in yet. I mean, it's like literally across the street from me. But now that that's open, Saturday and Sunday afternoons when like everything else is closed around here, suddenly there's cars again because people are going to the matinees and then also they're there doing, going to the nighttime movies. The matinee prices are actually quite good, particularly for those of us above a certain age. So at some point I'll probably go over there. But my understanding is the way sort of the film distribution works, because I think it was like redone with some sort of grant or something, is right currently they're only showing one film at a time. It used to be 3 theaters. At some point it became 2. And I'm not sure if it's 2 still or if one's been turned into something else. I haven't really been following the stories. But someone told me, so this is like third-hand information, that it's the way the films, they show one film at a time, and essentially they show it until people stop coming. Like, so if I think like if they have a certain number of shows that are below a certain amount of attendance, it's time to get the next movie. But something will run until, people stop coming to it. We'll try and do one more layer. It's getting, I'm going to press it down. We'll try one more layer. We'll see what happens. So there's a lot more people around. I mean, it's still sort of dead at night. Now, I mean, granted, there are Like, if I was to walk out my door and walk to the intersection, you know, literally there are 3 bars, like, within half a block of each other. Which is pretty much, we don't even have there's a brewery across the river. But unless I think they have some more food now. Initially, they just had alcohol. Oh no, we do actually have one restaurant sort of down here. But, you know, we used to have a lot more restaurants, and we don't. This town mainly has chains. Okay, let's do the last layer. Definitely want to put the bio nylon on last. I find that sort of traps everything on this last. Yeah, it looks like I've already lost the light. It's gotten very cloudy out there. So that's what the wind was blowing in, the clouds. So I barely have the heat on. That's how warm it is. In fact, the heat is so low that Heloise, during the winter, Heloise lies on, well, if she can't lie on me, because obviously I'm the warmest thing in here, right? But I have these, you know, totes. I have 2 stacked up, and they're flush with the windowsill. And the baseboard radiators are under that windowsill. And so she will get on there, and you know how cats like they have their arms like this. She takes her front arms and she like has them hanging like over the edge of the tote, so like the heat from the radiator comes up right there and sort of in her head, so she gets like bathed in heat. But I have the heat so low right now that, you know, it's probably not worth lying there. She's lying on an arm of the sofa, but she has sort of tipped over. She's sort of on her side. So if you have any name suggestions for this, please pop them on this. And then after this is over, I will download this the video, and I will upload it to YouTube. Don't forget, I have a YouTube channel. I'd like some more subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go subscribe. And I will upload it there completely unedited. Because who has time to edit? It would just mean it wouldn't get done. This is the bio nylon that I will sort of trap because it's getting very, very full. You can see things are starting to transfer over here to the liquor. And the bio nylon has some texture and grip to it, so it helps sort of keep everything on. And I like to be a little heavy-handed on this last layer because when I take it off, eventually I'm going to fluff it out and tease it out. I don't want any sort of voids, like things where there's just the base fiber. You don't see other things. So. Okay, I think that's going to be it. So also speaking of YouTube, I just did a little short that I've already uploaded. And I'll probably just put that up also on here on the Facebook page. Just so, I don't know if I think that's enough for now. Actually, let's check. Let's check. I have to get this out anyways. Just out of curiosity, let's see how much is left on this. Okay, so it would be a small bat, but there's like just over 1.5 ounces. So let's just start adding things like bamboo. Silk weighs nothing. But bamboo's got some weight. And the bio-nylon's got some weight. So we might be able to make another one. Okay, we can break the bat. There we go. I mean, this might not be particularly heavy. It's not feeling particularly thick. I don't know. Just pressing it into the dauber crease here. Okay, look at that sparkle. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But there's all the Angelina in there. Definitely gonna need this. Very excited. I got a whole bunch new knitting needles of the very thin variety. This one's a 3mm. But somebody had donated a bunch to our guild, and they're the old ones, right? The only problem is this light color is sometimes hard to see on the carding cloth. There we go. Anyway, so I've got more knitting needles, because sometimes when I do my classes, I've got like this one, right? And, you know, a lot of people don't use it this way. They just rip it off, and you can do that. I just don't like wasting any of the bat. So I don't know if you can see, I've got a little bit of combing action here. You can sort of see it there. Strung out, if you will. Okay, you ready? So here's the finished bat. It's got some thickness to it. So let us get back here. We're going to turn on the scale. And this is where, if you want to guess the weight, go right ahead. Person who gets closest gets trophy emojis. Put that on there. Tear it out. Okay. So this is your chance to guess. Person who gets closest gets the trophy emojis. Get a piece of paper. Okay. Oh, Janice, I get this occasionally. I get this slow connection thing that pops up over the bottom comment and over the finish button too. Thank you, Sandy. So yeah, but like I said, if you have a name suggestion, pop it in there. It's a pretty light bat. It is 2.12 ounces. Okay, and I just wrote 21.12 ounces. Let us cross that out and write 2.12. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. And Sandy, by the way, your things from last weekend sale are on the way to you. At some point, I'll actually send you like your tracking number. So, okay. So I will put some nice Angelina in there. Got to remember, the Angelina is in the bat, so I have to remember to make sure it gets in the description. So, yeah. So next week it'll be Sunday demo, but on Monday at 3 o'clock. If you're local and you want to take my, Felton Art Bat into a wrap class, which is what it is. It's a 3-hour class, noon to 3 on the 11th. I think what else? I'm excited. My guild meeting for January is on Zoom, and our presenter is going to be somebody from Bob and Boy. So I'm excited about that. So okay, well that's about it. And I will fluff and fold this and eventually take photos. I probably will not take photos today because of the light. Maybe I'll try one. We'll see what it looks like. But yeah. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you around on social media.